Hi, I'm George Evans, and I'm the CEO of Celceutics. Today we have something really new and exciting to talk about with our shareholders. And it's about our new compound for autism spectrum disorder, which we call KM391. We acquired this compound in December of 2009, and we were really lucky to do so. Just the next month, in January of 2010, Business Week published an article that the drug industry is finally gearing up for an assault on autism. Once again, we think our team at Celceutics is ahead of the curve on identifying and acquiring compounds for unmet medical needs. Let's start now with a discussion of autism itself. Autism is a condition where there's a loss in certain brain functions which leads to a behavior disorder. The present scientific research directs us to a few things, one being the plasticity of brain tissue, a second being nerve tangling in the brain, and a third being uneven production of serotonin, all of which may have a significant effect on the evolution and degree of severity of autism in any particular individual. The condition is characterized by impairment in social communication, social interaction, and social imagination. Those with autism often have a restricted range of interests and display repetitive behaviors and mannerisms, along with altered reactions to the everyday environment. There have been a number of theories advanced about the cause of autism spectrum disorder, but no one really knows what's really responsible for causing the condition. What we do know is that those who are affected by autism face a daily struggle that consumes resources and takes an enormous emotional toll. Since it may affect as many as 1% of all children, more research is urgently needed to understand the condition and develop possible treatments. The U.S. government has recently recognized the importance of autism and has earmarked over $1 billion for studies over the next 10 years. We have some pretty promising data on KM391, but first let me say something about the experiment that generated the data. Research on autism has been difficult in the past because it was hard to find a good animal model. And it's hard to get started on research unless you can have an animal model that gives you a good prediction of what's going to happen in humans. To overcome this challenge, our Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. Christian Menon, scoured the best available models from the global scientific community and found a promising model that simulates the behavior dysfunction and brain abnormalities found in autism. This allows us to use the model to test the hypothesis that our compound can work against the symptoms of autism. Now let's turn to the data. The experiment compared 2 dosage levels of KM391 to an active control and to a group that received no treatment. That's 4 groups in total. The groups that received the doses of KM391 demonstrated superior results when compared to both control groups on the 3 parameters that were measured, and those parameters were brain plasticity, serotonin levels, and behavioral function. You can see some of the details of the data on the website. We think it's pretty good stuff. Tells us that we have a promising development candidate. The FDA has yet to approve a single medication to treat the main conditions of autism. Very few drugs have been historically prescribed for autism. With all the recently available scientific tools and increased biological knowledge of the complex gene mutations associated with autism, a few forward-thinking companies are developing compounds to specifically treat autism, and at Celceutics, we're very happy to be a member of this select group. Our next step is to learn a little bit more about the mechanism of action of the compound before moving into toxicity studies. We'll be working as fast as we can to move the compound on to clinical studies. Now let's end with a quick word about our lead compound, Kevitrin. Kevitrin is being developed to treat drug-resistant cancers, and we've had promising results in drug-resistant lung, breast, and colon cancer cell lines. We're making good progress in our toxicity studies and hope to have them completed around the middle of the year if all goes well. We've completed the pre-IND meeting with the FDA already, and we're right on track with our plan to move on to human studies as rapidly as possible. It's a great time for Celceutics, and we hope you'll share our enthusiasm. As always, please contact us at info@celceutics.com if you have any questions or comments. Thanks again.